no longer a Christian country. We are no longer a Christian country. Yes, we were founded on Christian principles, but we're no longer a Christian country. Our unchurched has a larger population than Australia and Canada. What are we doing to reach our own people? I heard, I didn't fact check it, I'm sorry, but I heard a statement from an African native, and it just kind of fits that we have a native here. But I heard a statement from an African native that says, brother, we're so burdened for America that we're sending missionaries into America.
have a national language. Actually, pastor, and they had a little video they did interviewing a missionary, and they wanted to know, why are we sending missionaries out alone? Is that biblical? Why are we doing that? And both of them agreed they'd never heard a good answer to that. Why are we sending missionaries out alone? Well, that wasn't enough for me to him to just mention that. I called him. I wanted to know. So we had a long conversation, and he gave me 3 reasons why he thought we're sending missionaries out alone. And number 1 is, most men don't want to be a help to someone else. They want to be that guy. They want to be the missionary. They don't want to go and just support someone else. And the second thing was that churches aren't willing to send people together, right? So the only thing he could tell me about was one church that he knew of. The man was going to go plant a church in Montana. For the Lord. Now, I want you to turn to Nehemiah 13. I want to show you something. Now, there's a map that I can show you. It's called the Beer Belly Map of America. And it highlights where there are more bars than there are grocery stores. Now, if you overlay this map with the map of where the Baptist churches are, they're exactly negative. Where the churches are, there's more grocery stores, and where the churches are less, there's more bars. That's the influence of a church. It's the influence of light on this dark world. We know a pastor, they outgrew their building, and they moved across town to a new campus. And when they did, the police came to him 6 months later and said, "It has gone crazy out there. We're out there every night without your church there. I really wish you hadn't moved." That was proof to him of how much influence they had in that neighborhood. And they ended up actually moving again, and it happened again. Every time you lose a church, you're losing the influence in that neighborhood. And every reason that he gave you why we need churches is exactly why we do what we do. Now, I want to take a look in Nehemiah 13, verse 10. Now, Nehemiah set up the Levites to do the work of the church, and he comes to town to check on them and see how they're doing. And it says in verse 10, "And I perceived that the portions of the Levites had not been given them, for the Levites and the singers that did the work were fled every one to his field." So they were under-supported. Now they're bivocational. Every church planter. You wouldn't be on deputation if you didn't need money to do what we do, but what we really need is workers. right? In Matthew 9:37, it said, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Now, we were in Sunday school one morning, and the pastor kind of leaned in the microphone and he said, stop dreaming and do. And I thought he was talking to me. Wow, that was like he just literally spoke right to me. Well, as it went along, we went down and he read this verse. And he wasn't even preaching on this whatsoever. He was just teaching through Romans. And in Romans 15:27 it says, it hath pleased them verily, and their debtors they are. For if the Gentiles have been made partakers of their spiritual things, their duty is also to minister unto them in carnal things. And I heard that and I thought, that's exactly it. That's what God wants me to do. That is the pattern for our ministry. And I went home and I told my wife, I felt like if I told someone I church. That's what we're going to be doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, is going out and knocking on doors and helping that pastor. So we do VBS. We'll do evangelistic outreach. We did a 4th of July event where we set up a tent, just tried to reach everyone that was going in and out of the fair. Now, if you look on the back of our prayer card, it says, putting feet to your prayers. That's the idea behind what we're doing. Now, we had a evangelist that we know. He broke down on the side of the highway, and we tried to get a hold of him. And they said, you know what, right now at this time, we're just asking for prayer. And we said, okay. We couldn't get a hold of him. I didn't know his number. Well, when I finally did manage to get a hold of him, he was very excited for us to go rescue his truck and fix it. So that's what we did. Me and the boys went out there, and we took a trailer, but Ethan ended up actually fixing it in the parking lot, and we drove it back to him and gave it back to him better than it was before. And Ethan said, we put feet to their prayers. And I said, I love that thought. And he said, well, it's never convenient when people need me and stop complaining that I don't have what God gave someone else. Right? So my gift has always been that I can figure out a way to get anything done. We're going to a church and he wants us to work on a bathroom, and I said, well, I've never done tile. And he said,